let's lay it out here. I'm sure you guys have heard it, but maybe you're watching in 5 years. If we don't get a Gen 5 remake, if that doesn't exist yet, whenever you're watching this, the idea is we're either going to get a Black 3, White 3, which is a third sequel to, that completes the trilogy. We either get some sort of Legends game where we get a story of the original dragon. Then there's also ideas. We're currently sitting in Generation 9. There's a lot of fun theories where, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Paradox UNOVA. The idea is that basically we get
future UNOVA.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a sequel to Scarlet and Violet that takes place in UNOVA, which is, I would think, what we got in. I think that's what Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire are. They feel like story sequels. Maybe not like character sequels, but lore sequels.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
It really does take
with the multiverse. You take Hoopa, right?
Yeah.
Hoopa's super involved with that. I feel like, it would be a continuation of the Paradox, the Area Zero story in Scarlet and Violet, and then expand it.
You could turn the region into the Paradox region and have we see in Black 2 and White 2 and Black and White,
which is an alternate
Black
reality.
City and the White Tree Hollow or whatever it is. Black City and there's a Lucid City that's either future or past.
Yeah.
So it could be that the whole region is in a state of this weird time flux and we're not really sure what it's about, and awaken the original dragon to save the and this is where the Paradox legendary Swords of Justice sort of like tie into it all. So there's definitely like room for them to do something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Equally, it might just be the case that the Indigo Disc is the UNOVA revisit. Maybe they do a port of Black and White and Black and White 2, or they do an Ilka game of Black and White and Black and White 2.
Which is honestly fine, because before we heard a bunch of hints that maybe this would happen. That seems like I'd be fine with that.
Just to delve into and again, I don't want to date the video too much, but to delve into the realm of speculation here, I think there was one of the big tweets by Ku was something to the effect of, this character, one of the characters in the poster for the Indigo Disc, holds the key to what's coming next.
Yeah.
And
presumably.
This person presumably is Drayton, who is the grandson of Drayden. He's got Archaludon, which is a bridge like in UNOVA. He's also a UNOVA. We now know the Indigo Disc is in UNOVA. So I think a lot of the rhetoric I hear is people saying, that means that UNOVA games are next.
Yeah.
And that could be the case. Or it could be that Ku was just simply hinting that, the Indigo Disc is in UNOVA. Yeah. Which we now know. So it might just be that's it. That's all he was hinting towards. We don't really know.
Yeah.
And, you can... With leakers, while there are some that are particularly consistent, they still get it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
this will be fun to watch in 5 years.
Yeah,
to see what the reality of everything is. Something that I have noticed is, and I think about this, I come from New England. We are currently in New York.
Mm-hmm.
This whole region was colonized by Europe.
By me. I didn't do anything.
I was going to say by Galar.
I wasn't hit by the Galar.
Yeah. There's a lot of Galar Pokemon that are appearing with new forms.
And there's a lot of imagery as well.
Yeah, but they're appearing in UNOVA, right? In the Indigo Disc.
The
Archaludon.
Right? Archaludon, so Driplin, or Diplin, or whatever it's called. Driplin? I don't know.
He dresses very well.
Diplin. So there is also... There's the Abyssal Ruins that holds the Relic Crown, which looks like Zacian's crown.
Yes.
And there are 2 heroes of UNOVA, and there are 2 heroes of Galar. And I do believe
you have all the French imagery with the
related.
I agree. I think.
And even like Pokemon like Frillish are said to represent the sort of
the king and queen,
the dead of the kind of royalty, and it all ties in.
There's a lot of dragons.
Right? A lot of dragons.
A lot of knights. I think. Yeah. So, I mean, again. Fakemon can be a different video, but I do like the idea of a lot of these Galar Pokemon being brought over and seeing different versions of it. Also, like, because UNOVA was a soft reboot of the series, to say, it became an analog to Kanto and some of the earlier iconic Pokemon. All of those Pokemon got new, almost like reiterations. They're kind of like look-alike Pokemon, right? They're like your regional fake. They're like your convergent species. So that's the theme of UNOVA, but I feel like there's also a ton of characters. And this is the first region where, because it was no longer in a region that's based on Japan, Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7, all these characters started feeling like they had a story, and then we never got back to them, right? Maybe 1 or 2 we returned to. But there's so many characters in here as well that I feel like would be incredible to see how they could progress. We saw a little bit of it with Black 2, White 2, but if we were to get some sort of paradox or parallel universe, or another sequel. I want these characters to be shuffled
Well, you can
up.
see,
we see it with Drayden.
Iris calls Drayden grandpa. Now,
yeah.
they're not. I don't think they're biologically related. It's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
But now he actually has a grandson.
Yeah.
So like, is there be
There's
cool
gonna be a rivalry
the
there,
rivalry
right?
or the relationship there?
Yeah.
You've got Olga, whom we've seen little maybe hints of in the Legends games. So maybe there's something there. Ingo and Emmett need to be revisited because Ingo's just had this story recently in Legends Arceus.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a number of ways that these characters can be expanded upon that are already set up and already really interesting.
And I feel like the original dragon is something that we've always wanted. Everyone wants.
Yeah.
What I don't know. I was watching a Loxton video.
Yeah.
And he broke it down that the inspiration was actually a 3-headed dragon.
Yes.
No one depicts it like that online. When I see,
but it would make sense. You've got your head of.
And that's
Kyurem,
so Pokemon.
Reshiram, and Zekrom.
That's so Pokemon. You're like, oh, there's 3 dragons?
And Hydreigon is like a minified version of the legend, which is the legend of the 3-headed dragon of, dragon, fire and electric, or ice, fire and electric, or whatever. Yeah. And I think
it's the triad.
There's this narrative, and I won't go too much into it, but I've got a theory talking about how the 4 big boss Pokemon of the last 4 generations are effectively parts of Arceus.
Yeah.
There's reasons for it, but they're effectively dragons whose bodies come from space, who are responsible for part of the phenomenon of the region, and they have multiple forms. So this is Zygarde, Necrozma, Eternatus, and Terrapagos. And the key thing that each of them have that unifies them is that they're dragon type.
Yeah.
And it said that the original dragon is sort of the original dragon energy. So this Pokemon is also a core part of that lore that started with Gen 4 with Arceus, the original dragon, now the 4 parts of the Arceus.
Yeah.
So they all tie into each other in terms of the kind of cosmology of Pokemon.
Yeah.
More so than like Lugia and Ho-Oh or Groudon and Kyogre.
Yeah.
These guys are all kind of combined together. And so I think seeing that original source of kind of crystallized dragon energy that Reggie Drago mentions in its Pokedex entry in this original dragon makes sense. Like, it's something we need to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
To complete the story.
If we do get a Legends Unova, because everyone's talking about it, what would the 3 Pokemon be? The starter Pokemon.
Oh, the starter Pokemon
that would come with us. I'll tell you mine. I think Litten needs a revision of some sort. Totodile I like a lot. That'd be cool for Alligator. Come on, let's do it. I'm tempted to say Trico, but I like Sceptile. Yeah, I'll just go with that. I'll just go with that.
Well, there's a number of ways you could go about it. You could say that
Fennekin also needs a fix.
You could do the trio from Legends Arceus and then just do like another set of 3 from those regions.
Yeah.
But one of those regions is Unova anyway.
Yeah.
So my one would be to say, okay, well, let's, much like we did Mega Blaziken and X and Y before before Swampert and Sceptile got theirs.
Yeah.
Let's do like, okay, so Samurott is exactly the same as the Legends version.
Yeah.
And then there's just a Legends, Superior, and Emboar. I'd be okay with that because these are designs that personally I'm just less fond of, and so I think it would be cool to see new versions.
I like that a lot.